Hello everyone, welcome to Even the Scales. Thank you for clicking on my video today and I hope you're all having a good day. My name's Donna and today on my channel I'm going to talk to you more about the psychological abuse that I am being put through by the majority of the community here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. Since I spoke to you on the last video, the abuse that I have been being subjected to from certain members of this community, it's violating some of the most basic principles of my human rights and dignity, and it has been going on non-stop. First of all, though, I'd like to do an acknowledgement of country and acknowledge the Dharawal people, who are the true custodians of the land that I bring you these messages on today. I would also like to pay respect to elders past and present, as well as extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are watching this video today. For those of you who haven't heard my story before, this is happening to me because it's a part of a massive cover-up being orchestrated by the justice system here in New South Wales. No matter where I go or what I do, I'm being persistently harassed and put through severe psychological torture. Doesn't matter if I'm in my home or if I'm out in public. And there's a couple of groups of people that are just like, they are the main ones still carrying out this abuse. So I need to protect myself from these people. The police in Campbelltown here are involved in the abuse. So there's no one I can really turn to for help as far as the justice system goes. The police have been out there stalking me this morning. So they are involved in this. All I can do is speak out about it on this channel. So for those of you who don't know also, there is a listening device in my home and in my car, and all of my devices have been hacked. It is not only the police that can listen into my home and view my devices, it is the public as well. It is members of the public. I have all types of crazy creeps listening in on my home. And the police are allowing members of the public to do this so that they can come up with creative ways to abuse me. And the main groups that have still been involved since the last time I spoke to you on the last video, there's one particular group that is using pollution for a weapon and noise. And they are using all forms of transport to do this. I don't know whether you read the post that I left on the community tab last night for this channel. Last night I was just enjoying the sound of nature coming from my front yard. I heard some birds in the tree and I thought, great, like the birds are back, because a lot of the birds disappeared from that tree due to the noise attacks that have been constantly carried out here in Campbelltown as a part of this abuse. And I actually said out loud, oh, that's so great, like there's some birds back in the tree, they must be coming back. And because there are people listening into my home who are using noise and pollution as a weapon right now, they heard me say that. So straight away, they started sending cars, trucks, you name it, up my street just to deliberately create pollution and noise. And they're doing this to try and provoke me. I mean, it's not provoking me. It's not really hurting me personally in any way. The fact that I speak about it on this channel is only for the fact that it's wrong. That's why I let people know what's going on here. It's not because it's, provoking me that these people are driving up the street. I'm just letting people know what's going on here in Campbelltown and how wrong it is. So it's this group, and when I went out this morning, I walked along a certain path and There was a certain transport company in this town that was stalking me, and they sent several of their vehicles towards me to do this. And there was also a lot of people in utes. I get stalked a lot by men in utes for some reason. I have no idea who these people are, if there's some kind of ute club or something like that, but I'm constantly stalked on the road and when I'm walking by these men in utes, and also a lot of tradesmen and a lot of work trucks, council trucks, things like that. So I was stalked by them this morning on my walk as well. And this transport company that stalked me this morning, quite aggressively, I might add, like there was a lot of them during this short amount of time that I was out. There was a lot of these vehicles that were stalking me. And what they're doing, what these people are doing, because there is a listening device in my home, they do things, they drive past and do deliberate acts of abuse, carry out deliberate acts of abuse and show off, so that the people that are listening in through the listening device in my home will hear them do that. So they're doing things for attention. So this transport company, one of their vehicles just went up this street at 3:17 today, and it bipped their horn as it went past this house. And because that transport company knows that, because I've been speaking in my home about what they did to me this morning, they know that, and they were just like being smartasses and doing it for attention from their friends that are listening in through the listening device that's planted in my house. So it is this group that is causing the noise and pollution with the transport that is still aggressively stalking me. They are constantly sending unnecessary vehicles up this road. There was also a noise attack carried out this morning when I got up. It wasn't a long one, or it wasn't that loud, but that's not the point. It was still going on. There was still unnecessary traffic and noise and pollution being created at 5 o'clock this morning. There are also people that live close to me that have been involved in carrying out this abuse on me since this begun over a year ago now. And there is a certain person, I think that these people have been told to stop carrying out the abuse, but there is a certain person that has very close access to me. This person is carrying out psychological abuse on me, sometimes from as early as 4 a.m. in the morning until 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. To say this person is obsessed with me is an absolute understatement. It is all this person does. And she is doing this in a very, very sneaky way. There's nothing I can do to get help for this, because the company that the real estate that I rent off apparently is involved in this. They won't help me. They have told me to go to the police. I can't go to the police because they are involved in this. So the only kind of protection that I can give myself right now from this person's abuse is to get on here and speak about it. And if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. But this person's doing this in very sneaky ways. Because she has this close access to me, she is taking advantage of that. And she's also doing it for attention from her friends. She does it for attention from the other people around here that have been involved in this as well, because they're all listening in on my home. All the neighbours who have been involved in this abuse on me are listening in on my home. and she's doing things, and then she's sitting back and she's waiting to get a reaction out of me. And every now and then, yeah, I do get angry and I do raise my voice. But that's because anyone would do the same thing if they were being abused from 4 a.m. in the morning till 10 o'clock at night off the same person all day, every day. So if I have to get on here and speak about this person every day, I am going to, because I need help with this. This is not fair. I am an innocent person. I have done nothing to deserve any of this. This is being carried out by the justice system. The justice system have been paying members of this community to carry out abuse on me. I went to a shopping centre this morning. I was also stalked by hundreds of stalkers once again. They follow me wherever I go, so they're tracking me and they are following me to wherever I'm going to carry out premeditated acts of psychological abuse on me. And this has been going on for almost a year now. And I also went into 2 stores this morning and they were doing the same thing. So they are involved in it as well. This is a huge scheme. There are hundreds and hundreds of people involved in this, but there are certain groups that have just done so much over the past year to carry out abuse on me that they are trying to avoid accountability for what they have put me through. And this is why they are just like attacking me so hard now, because it's like they're trying to force me to have a mental health breakdown, but that's not going to happen. That's why I created this channel. That's why I created this channel, so I can get on here and speak about these things that are happening to me and, yeah, just, relieve some of that anger. Because, I mean, it would make anyone angry being put through this all day, every day for a year. I also went on some websites this morning and done some research on international criminal laws. And I went on a website called phap.org, and this is the International Association of Professionals in Humanitarian Assistance and Protection. And they have a lot of information on their site about core crimes of international criminal law. And a lot of what has been done to me throughout the past year by this setup that's been orchestrated by the justice system infringes upon these international criminal laws. And these are very, very serious laws. They are crimes against humanity. And one of these crimes is torture. I have been put through severe psychological torture for over a year because of this. So this is just one of the crimes. I have been put through great suffering, and this great suffering has all been being done to me to cause me serious injury to my body or mental or physical health. So this is another crime. These are the core crimes of crimes against humanity. First one, torture. The next one, great suffering, serious injury to body or mental physical health. Grave infringements upon human rights. My human rights are being violated in disgusting ways. Severe deprivation of physical liberty. My freedom has been taken away. I'm practically being held hostage. The only place I can go is to get the things I need. And even then, I'm stalked by hundreds of people. I'm stalked on the road when I drive, so it's dangerous for me to drive my car. So I'm basically a hostage right now. And, I'm being confined to my home a lot, and then in my home, I'm being subjected to this constant psychological abuse from this person and other people around me. And the severe deprivation and physical liberty, this crime against humanity, I was subjected to this at the Campbelltown Public Hospital too, when I was taken there and held against my will for 5 weeks and put through severe psychological torture almost a year ago now. So they committed a crime against humanity by doing that. I'm also being persecuted. This is another crime against humanity, persecution. Persecuted because of my spiritual beliefs and because of my race and gender. War crimes. Now, war crimes, from what I can gather from what I was reading, they refer to crimes that are committed on large groups of people or populations of people. But the thing is, I'm a civilian. Now, they might only be committing this crime on one civilian, but I'm still a civilian. And they are intentionally attempting to kill a civilian. This is being done to take my life. There's no doubt about that. And I'm not meant to be here right now. I wasn't meant to survive this long. And a war crime, another war crime is also torture. And I'm being put through severe psychological torture. I am watching children be exploited every day by these people. They are using children. They are putting young children up to things to carry out abuse on me. These children wouldn't know what they're doing, but they're being told to do certain things to carry out abuse on me. There are also crimes against the environment, crimes against the planet that are being committed here in Campbelltown as a part of this abuse. These are also crimes against humanity. Widespread long-term damage and knowledge that this damage is being caused and that there's massive environmental wrongdoing going on here in Campbelltown and has been for over a year. So all of these are crimes against humanity, that all of these crimes have been carried out here in Campbelltown every day for almost a year. I also went on the Australian Federal Police website again today, and it pretty much says the same thing. Environmental crimes, environmental pollution linked to corruption, which is exactly what this is. There are environmental crimes being committed here every day, causing unnecessary pollution. Over the course of a year, can you imagine what damage that has done to the environment? And it's linked to corruption. It's linked to police corruption. That's the whole reason this is happening. So some very abusive police officers and civilians can escape accountability for their heinous crimes. The ICC, International Criminal Court, this is also information that's taken from the Australian Federal Police website. International Criminal Court, core international crimes are serious human rights crimes, serious crimes that violate human rights, which is exactly what's happening to me. Murder. This is being done to take my life. I will say that again, because that's why this was carried out in the first place, to take my life. Cruel treatment and torture. Attack against a civilian. Sexual or gender-based violence. And hostage taking. Well, when I was taken to the Campbelltown Public Hospital and held against my will for 5 weeks, I was pretty much held hostage. I was taken there against my will. and all of my rights were violated during the time I was there. Every right that I should have had in that hospital was violated by those people. So, and I'm also pretty much being held hostage now because of the way my freedom is being impacted due to this abuse. And so those are the war crimes on the AFP website. And then there's crimes against humanity, once again, murder, torture, and sexual or gender-based violence. So, as I said, the police, Campbelltown police, were out there stalking me again this morning. So, yeah, that's what's happened since the last time I spoke to you. And this is what I'm going to do from now on. If I have to get on here every day and just tell people what's happening to me every day, that's what I'm going to do. So if you've watched this video, I thank you so much for listening. If you can, I would really appreciate it if you could share the video, tell people about what's going on here in Campbelltown, because who knows how many people they've got away with doing this to in the past, and who knows how many people they're going to do it to in the future. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye for now, and God bless.